I'm Greg Greenwood and welcome to my studio. This video is going to answer the question, how do I ball the end of a wire and how do I ball a sphere of sterling silver? These are some of the tools that you're going to be needing for balling up the silver. The first thing is a charcoal block. I really like a charcoal block for this process because it holds the heat around the spheres as you're heating them up, and also it makes it easy to clean up afterwards because a little residue will stick to the bottom of the spheres, and the charcoal cleans off really easy, a lot easier than, let's say, the soldering block. Second thing that you're going to need is a torch. You only need a small butane torch for this operation. You don't need a huge torch for it, so we'll be using the butane here today. And flux, this is really essential for this, keeps everything flowing nice. And then you can use a pick, tweezers, cross-lock tweezers. If you're going to be balling up wires, you can hold the wires with the cross-lock tweezers, or you can put them in a third hand if you wish. The balls, when you heat them up on the charcoal block on the flat surface, will have a flat bottom to them, and you can make them more rounded on the bottom if you make little indentations into the charcoal block. You can use dapping tools which have got the round beaded on the end, and you can just simply push them down into here. It will make a little indentation. If you don't have any of those, you can use a drill bit. Just simply put it on the charcoal, give it a few spins, and it'll make a nice little indentation for you. And of course, you need pieces of silver. Let's take a close look at this and melt some silver. I've cut these pieces of sterling silver and placed them onto the charcoal block. These pieces are about 4 or 5 millimeters long. We'll flux them up and we'll start balling them up. Now we're ready to heat them up. I'm going to be using the butane torch with a slightly reduction type flame on it, but still nice and sharp. I want to heat them up fast, and I don't want to overheat them. So I will adjust the flame so it's a little on the reduction side and zoom in on them, heat them up fast, and as soon as they start melting and going up into a sphere, I'm going to back the flame off, but still keep it warm, like right there. Just back the flame off. I'm off about 4 or 5 inches now. Now I'll zoom in on the next one, heat it up fast. As soon as it melts up into the sphere, I'll back the torch off. This will keep it from slumping. There we go. Back the flame off. There we go with that one. Back the flame off. Zero in. And back it off. Now the charcoal, because of the flux, will have a tendency to stick to the balls, so I want to warm them back up, and then I can take them off of the charcoal and get ready to put them into the pickle. If you pull them off while they're cool, you'll pull a lot of the backing off, or the parts of the charcoal will come with the balls, and it just makes a real mess. See, they have a tendency to stick, and so if you warm them up, they'll come right off. We'll put a couple pieces in the indented area and we'll flux it up really well. This way we'll have a nice large ball. Make sure that it's fluxed up really well. And I want to heat it up with a nice hot flame, but slightly reduction flame. I'm going to zero right in on it at the very tip of the flame. Heat it up fast, but not overheating it. So as soon as it starts melting and goes up into a sphere, I'm going to back the torch off, keep it warm so it doesn't slump. There it is, melting there. Now it goes up into a nice sphere, rolls around in that flux, and I'll back that torch off. Keep it nice and smooth, and then while it's still hot, you can pick it up. Let me turn that over so you can see the back, that it is nice and rounded there too. And then we'll put it in the pickle. Here's our spheres out of the pickle. They range in sizes from about 2.5 millimeters up to about 5 millimeters. This one has a flat bottom. It was melted on the flat charcoal block, and so it will have a flat bottom. This you can use to your advantage for soldering. Not all spheres will turn out perfect and flawless, so if you're going to be needing 5 or 6 spheres, make sure you make 10 or 12 of them. That way you can pick and choose and get your best ones. Remember, you can always remelt them. Now let's ball up the end of a wire. We'll flux it up. Use the same type of flame as we used on the spheres. Warm this up and melt it slightly, and there we go. Here's 3 balled wires. The one on the left has been heated way too much. Too much metal came up on the wire, became very large and rippled. The one in the middle was heated way too fast and way too hot, and it just misformed. The one on the right was heated just perfectly, and it's in perfect proportion to the wire itself. Here's the wire that was on the right. This shows you the correct ratio of wire to ball. If you try to go too much larger than this, gravity will take over and the ball will start to slump, and you won't have a nice sphere at the end of your wire. This is true also for the spheres. You can only go so far until gravity takes over and it will start pulling that sphere down and making it slump. Experiment with your wires and your spheres, and you'll find the sweet spot to make the perfect ball and the perfect sphere. The experimentation will be well worth it for you. It will add that extra little touch to your jewelry that will make it special.